everyone. So my speech today is powering RISC-V SoC with 1 to 1000 NDIS core. So this is my agenda. So first I give you a quick overview of NDIS RISC-V business status. NDIS RISC-V we can short for V5. So this is our 5th generation. And then we talk about NDIS V5 product, and then we talk about the NDIS custom extension, our custom instruction infrastructure, and do a little comparison with what announced last week, and then give a quick summary. NDIS V5 business status. We all know that there are a couple high-profile Tier 1 adoption for RISC-V, Qualcomm, MediaTek, and then the chip company, the system company, Western Digital. Microchip, Microsemi is one of the early adapter. They also create a couple of good products for RISC-V. So how the NDIS do it? So NDIS was founded in 2005, and our core R&D team comes from the Silicon Valley CPU company, and we've been developing our own instruction set, our own patent, 3 generations. And we upstream our GCC, the new tool chain, and Linux. And we have a high volume shipment, and our Frank already showed that, and continue has a healthy growth. And then since 2014, we started to notice RISC-V existence. And next year, we pay a little more attention, and we started to play with RISC-V GCC. And we have to introduce that to the Berkeley team that when you do GCC, you need to run GCC test suite. Then we joined the RISC-V Foundation, and in 2017, we announced adoption of the RISC-V as our NDIS core V5 5th generation. So when I do that presentation, Professor Patterson, sit in the first row and he asked question, what happened to V4? Because 4 is not a good number for a rental company, so we skip that. Not because of RISC-V. So how are we doing in V5? So Frank already showed a couple of adoptions. So we actually, V5 is adopted from edge to cloud. From emerging applications like ADAS, AIoT, blockchain, 5G, data center, AI application, to a more mature but still very important application like FPGA, MCU, multimedia, storage, security. The process our customers have is quite advanced, from the 40 nanometer to 7, and some are already looking to 5. Another perspective to look at V5 adoption is the number of cores using our customers' SoC. Jim already had a very good survey, and this is from our perspective. So majority of customers definitely using single core, because from a very entry-level MCU core, starting with that, and quite a lot of our customers using 2 to 8 core. We have customers using over 30 core. We have customers using over 100 core. And that big spot is for 1000 core. And also, in addition to our core, we also put together a couple of programs to help developers to jumpstart the development based on RISC-V. So we have a very comprehensive NDIS ID. We put it on the website, available for people to do free download. And we have RISC-V free start program. You can just sign up for free evaluation. And for commercial license, there's no license fee. So that's for our entry-level core and 22. And we also put together RISC-V easy start program that is to enable our device service partner to serve their RISC-V customers. So far we have 15 customers. Didn't have a chance to put together their names, but we had an announcement about 6 months ago. So welcome to talk to our device service company, or can let us know if you can refer to you. So we position V5 as a direct extension to RISC-V, which is basically we implement what's called the RISC-V standard RISC-V instruction, the process extension that we have. First is baseline extension, which means and it's a compiler and it's the SDK with automatic supporting that. So we're adding a couple of baseline instructions generated by our compiler and also supported by our partner. We added a couple of hardware features which are useful for embedded system. for example, RA handle, misaligned load store. Again, because the majority of software developed on ARM and x86, and those architecture support RA's handling of the loading logic. So without doing that, your body software is going to be running very slowly. And vector interrupt with priority preemption. RISC-V, if you don't have that, we bring that to the RISC-V community and make that into one of the task group. So now we are standardizing it. And also cache management support feature, even though you have cache coherency, you still need that. Stack safe for stack protection, very important for the environmental auto environment, so that you don't overrun your stack to your code. And power management feature, quick map and power break. So those stuff I talked about it in my past presentation in the RISC-V workshop, so I don't spend much time on that, but if you have a question, then we can talk about that later. So those are, left side is directly supported by our compiler, our SDK. But our customer has their want to create their own innovation and their own need. So we provide a custom extension, which is a set of powerful tool to help customers design a new instruction to accelerate their application. So no CPU background is needed. So this allows RISC-V to cover both the market, and one of our great weapon to bring RISC-V to the cloud. Okay, so with V5 architecture, we use that to create, design our processor, Xcode processor, and also and our shared platform IP, peripheral, and also bus fabric. And then we have any side tool covering high quality compiler, very powerful, comprehensive GUI tool, and also any software stack we can jump you start with RTOS, bare metal environment, and also Linux. So we are proud that our offering is the most comprehensive in RISC-V, because a lot of stuff is based on our 14-year continuous development. So we can move it from V3 to V5. So a quick summary before we can go into detail about for the benefit of our V5 solution. First, because we have 80 instructions, so our per megahertz performance is usually about 20% faster than the standard RISC-V. And also because of the instruction and the compiler technology we call code dense, give you a 12% smaller code size. And our customer told us the similar level of code we're running at about 15 to 20% faster in the frequency compared to other RISC-V. And we talked about that earlier. We have RISC diffusion support for embedded system, and also we have strong data processing capability already ready today with CPU register-based SIMD, AC, and also the stuff coming down horizon. We have flexible configuration so the customer can configure only the stuff they needed. So you can imagine when you have solid code, every single gate added will become solid gate. So you will be very careful about what you actually. You can configure your code with the tool provided on your desktop. And also we provide, our code is all kind of handcrafted based on Verilog, so it's very capital friendly. You can very easy to use it instead of using indirect generated language to Verilog. And last but not least, to provide such a good solution, actually we all backed up by friends supporting engineering. So for the processor lineup, bottom we have 22 with entry-level core, slim and efficient. Two-stage pipeline, very small, very good for the entry-level application. And going up is 25 series. It started with fast and compact core with 40-point and DSP support, which is both are optional. So N25F is without DSP, and D25F is with DSP. And NX25F is 64-bit. So with the one with X, the right-hand side are all 64-bit. And going up, we're adding Linux support, MMU, SMO, and then on MP core, so basically we're adding the multi-core support, cache coherency, so 1 to 4 core, and L2 cache, and IO coherency. So all those core come with cache support, and local memory, for ARM is for TCM, and branch prediction, and custom instruction support. It's definitely a new product coming on the horizon. So sorry, I'm not going to about it today. So we want to spend a little time on 25 series because it covers our majority of the code. And it's 32-bit and 64-bit and P5 architecture, and with optional 14-point single precision, double precision, and also SMO and NMU. So it's very efficient single-issue 5-stage pipeline, bigger multiplier, and optional break prediction. And on the memory subsystem side, instruction, cache, local memory, optional come with parity or ECC. It always supports what we have hardware on the line, directly support on hardware. And for the bus interface side, we can support one or two master port for HE and XI. So when you need two master ports, one is for instruction, the other one is for data access. And we have slave port, optional coming in to the core, so it can access instruction and data local memory. So one application is that you can have Google Trust engine outside and do the authentication and then decrypt of your code and then write it into your local memory and then wake up CPU and CPU can execute the safe code there. Now let's look at performance. So this table is we have a couple different configurations there. I can show you as an example. So the base is 32K instruction and data caches and bridge prediction, encode the floating point with single and double precision, digging and adding MMU and SMO running Linux, and then adding the RISC-V peak changing and run with PSP computation. So based on TSMC 28 nanometer, it's running at 1.1, 1.2 gigahertz. And it comes with leading COMAC and fresh and PMIX. And in Linux support side, basically we support the full feature specified by the RISC-V page size, and we have 4-way 32 to 128 entry shared TLB and 4 to 8 entry ITLB and DTLB. In the floating point side, we have very efficient basic instruction. So add, subtract, multiply, add, multiply, subtract for pipeline and 5 cycle. For the longer running instruction like divide, square root, we put that on the background so it don't block your main pipeline execution. So for floating point, you went Weston, and here we compare to Cortex M7 and A7. Please note that both are dual issue core, but in the Weston side, both double precision, actually we are 2x faster than those dual issue core, and for single precision, we are at least 50% faster. So very efficient single issue core. Now, earlier we talked about DSP. So RISC-V, we have little task force called P, Intending Task Group. The P stands for PEC DSP. We can take it for SIMD and DSP. So we are the chair of the task group, and we are the first one to come with RISC-V code with the P extension. We already have customers using it. The typical instruction for that type of instruction is using CPU register and to do that SIMD operation. So you can have, for example, 32-bit code, you can have 4 8x8 and accumulate into 32 data, so you don't have overflow there. And if you are 64-bit core, then you can do two sets of that in parallel. And if you're interested, we already, this is already 0.51 spec, and we put in the RISC-V website, we can download it. So welcome to come to take a look and let us know how you feel. So we already have simulator, compiler, or toolchain available somewhere. I don't have a pointer here. You probably can find it easily. So for everyone to play with. Let's look at the speed up on 32-bit P5 core. For MP3 decoder, you get 2x speed up. It's pretty much just using a compiler to compile it. And then MR voice codec requires tuning using intrinsic function. We can get the 3.7x speed up. So this speed up is with the RISC-V, with P extension and without P extension. And we also use holding the keyword spotting, although based on TensorFlow, and get 5.2x speed up. So very efficient for voice audio type application. And in addition to those applications, we also port it over 200 DSP library. Actually, that's the kind comes from our V3 because we're using the same intrinsic function. The maximum you can get 5.2x speed up on average is close to 2. And what about 64-bit peak tension? So we're using image application because it has more parity required. So using the C410, you can get 11x speed up. And do the face detection, part of the most important algorithm, the PNet part, is 7.6x speed up. So for a library, also very similar. So maximum you can get 11x speed up, and on average 1.5. So let's take a look at our multi-core support, 825MP and 825MP. So they are supporting 1 to 4. Baseline CPU with 8 cores, the full ISR, which already standardized RISC-V plus V5 patching, is supporting the SMT. We use MACI protocol with the duplicate tag for L1 data cache coherency, and also support IO coherency. So we have IO coherent port here, and we also have optional L2 cache controller, which is 16-way with back interlacing. And it comes with instruction and data prefetch, and those use different algorithms. Instruction is very sequential, and data will watch for the pattern and then decide to do prefetch. And because L2 cache SRAM can be quite large, so we have a flexible SRAM timing allowing you to control it 2 cycles, 3 cycles, and so on. And in the global level, you need a global level interrupt controller, and so also debug trace support is available there as a multi-core subsystem. Now, so that's for kind of small scale. So for our customer, when they go to a larger number of cores, we get something to help. So we have a bus matrix XI-based allow you to connect 16 masters to 16 slaves. And if you, one of our customers, they have more than 16 cores. So they're using 2 of them and kind of connect these 2 matrices together with the smaller one. And the other case for more real-time, with smaller size of multi-core, no cache coherency, but they require very, they want to share the instruction memory because that kind of part of their code. So to reduce the latency, they want to separate instruction access and data access. So they use our separate XI buses configuration. So the instruction will go to this trace, and it has more sharing. Actually, it's more than 1 meg. And then the data bus will go to a bigger bus matrix where the data memory and also bunch of peripheral to control their CSR. So now let's look at custom extension. Is it used to boost performance, efficiency, because you can run it faster, more efficiently to reduce the power, and also security, because that piece of code running your algorithm with custom instruction, only your core can run it, not other RISC-V code. So again, we want to thank for finally recognizing the importance of custom instruction. So we'll show you they are too late. The biggest scope of custom extension is basically to accelerate data-intensive computation. So usually there are 2 parts. One is moving the data in and out, and the other one is doing the computation. And the data out portion is we can tell with DMA on the background to overlap with computation. So one of the way you can do it with double buffering. So DMA moving data to one buffer, while compute access the other buffer. And once it's done with one phase, you can switch back and then continue to do the other thing on different bands. So our ACE custom extension is focused on compute acceleration. So our customer using ACE in 2 ways. Actually, there are many other ways to use it, but 2 typical ways they do it is using ACE to perform computation. For example, you can do a dot product of 2 64 elements of related data. And also, or you want to do a bigger scope, you can do matrix evolution using ACE as well. So we have one example to help customer to kind of to start an example, and then can take it over to modify it, become to match their algorithm. And the other way to do it is you can use ACE to control existing hardware engine. If you already have one. For example, you can send 90-bit command to your hardware engine every cycle. So it's kind of sort of like VIW. So while the CPU instruction is only 32 bits. So how does the whole NDIS custom extension framework do? So we provide customer with a standard component which we give to every customer, which we call extensible baseline component, including RTL, simulator, or deployment tool, compiler, debugger to IDE. So they are extensible, but if you don't need to add instruction, this is what you have. You're running some C code and running some Verilog code. You don't need to learn new language. And you use some attribute setting to tell the tool what you want to do. So you can design scalar instruction, vector instruction, and you can have wide operand, because only way you can get wide operand, you can do a lot of stuff. It's not limited by CPU's 32 or 64-bit register, or the register rewrite call. You can do direct I/O with internal work. So with this description, you can go through the tool of compiler. It's a kind of weird name, but I had to admire my team member to come up with the name. So compiler, and will generate all the extended components needed to serve the new instruction design, including extended RPR, extended ISS, and extended tool. So those extended components together with extensible baseline component together become the new CPU, simulator, and tool chain. So only you have, and you do it on your desktop. You don't need to run it on other people's website and run a chance of losing some of your confidential information. Okay, and usually when custom design instruction, you often worry about whether there's information with the main pipeline is going to break this or that. Actually, we have very good interface at the low level, so you don't worry about that. But still, our environment provide, we automatically generate a code-checking environment based on what customers specify. So as you can imagine, the C code basically describes behavior, and Verilog RTL describes the detail, implementing a pipeline. So based on that specification, we kind of group that together. So a lot of tools like this, they say, okay, you only need to write one language. Then that language will generate simulator and also the Verilog, your hardware, your RTL. But because that comes from the same language, there's no way you can check that because they have to be the same, right? So so this forces user to still writing another RISC model, maybe C, Perl, Python, whatever, to cross-check with that language. We realize this, we think, okay, why don't we just follow that additional language, additional description of your hardware together in our framework so that we can automate things for you. Okay, so actually this is a summary of eight features, but there's some stuff we didn't talk about that earlier. But so when you design instruction, you need operand. So we support standard operand with immediate, the CPU register, and baseline memory. And also we support custom operand, including custom register, custom memory, custom port, with arbitrary width and arbitrary number. And the only thing limited by custom instruction is 25 bits encoding space. So you don't say you want to define an instruction with 26 immediate, and then you don't have space for that. The instruction can be scalar and run in single cycle, multi-cycle, and instruction can be vector instruction, running a walk-through array of data with 7 stripes defined. And instruction can run on the background if it's long-running instruction, so it will not block your main pipeline execution. So we can issue something else. So we don't need to define OP code, don't need to worry about where it is. So just tell us you need this instruction, that kind of operand. So basically with automatic assign OP code based on the bit required for your operand. And definitely based on RISC-V principle to start with, so that make the decoding much easier. We not produce any timing paths there. And all the tools that are required include simulator, system C, talked about earlier, and our tool also generate a lot of housekeeping RTL code because we automatically assign the OP code, so we automatically generate the instruction decoding logic, and also operand mapping, dependency checking, and input access. It can be register, can be memory, can be port, or output update. We also automatically generate waveform files so that you can debug your complicated logic in case you have one. And it has fast turnaround time running on your desktop. So what ARM offers is standard, open, immediate, and the similar register, and also scaling instruction. And basically just in predictable format, so you can only do register-to-register operation. This is like MIPS core 10. I think it's quite limited because when you only access register, that's how many data you have, and the only thing you can do is that data. So compared to what we have, it's like assembly code. The reason why I end this RISC-V solution is serve the emerging SoC and choose by our customer from the edge to cloud. I think is summarized into the following. First is performance. I think we have a leading PPA performance power area, also small display size, and we are first one to offer a complete SIMD and DSP instruction, and we're going to continue to lead in that area for data processing. And also, we offer the best configurability and extensibility. So our core for every customer is standard with many different options. So not like some other vendor when they give to you already preconceived. For some of our customers, they think the configuration they choose is part of their secret, so they don't want they ask no. So we give them even the tool, so they can do it themselves. And also we talk about ACE, that's kind of a powerful tool to simplify the design of custom instruction. And last but not least, maturity. So since NS has been developing the processor over the past 14 years, we developed a very good optimization for compiler. Even though we changed from V3 to V5, the compiler optimization technology is still there. And also we provide very good software stack support for customers, our SDK. We have very good, very comprehensive feature in our IDE, which customers can use it to speed up their design. And also our product packaging and custom engineering, which is not that technology dependent, but actually very important to serve customers, especially when they have a very tight schedule to develop a product. With that, I conclude my talk. Thank you.